I think that's all we can. That's all we can do. Yeah, just keep going every day, bit by bit, and have the meetings in. Start more clarity. Because I've seen your message as well. I'll reply that a little bit shortly after the meeting.
Oh, no worries, man. I know you're super busy. I know everyone's super busy. I've been reaching out to everybody and trying to get as many people as possible back into the meetings. This is great. It seems like we are actually getting a lot more people into the meeting. So, super happy about that. And then, really, I just wanted to kind of go over today where we are. I know a lot of people have seen like information on us kind of trying to roll some stuff out and get started there. So I have a pretty exact timeline of how all of that is going to happen. I'm going to kind of like publish it to you guys today. And then y'all can let me know exactly what you think or if you have any questions. Algo, did you have a question? I think I was just unmuted.
Sir, there was a mistake, sir. I don't have a question.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. But let me be super quick about this. I know you guys have stuff to get through in your days, and I want to make sure that I'm as respectful as possible for your time. So let me share the project plan, and I'll go over what's in here real quick, and then what I plan on kind of bringing um, in real quick a little bit later. So we have a lot of stuff on the marketing side. In reality, the main goal for next week is just to get all of the Gov holders in and talking again. That's kind of in a nutshell what we're trying to do. That's going to happen with a series of announcements and like essentially like smaller marketing tests. Once we have confirmed all of that is good, and then once I get the audit report back from the people who are auditing the contract and everything is good, then I think we'll be ready to kind of start the rollout on the contract. That should only take 2 or 3 days at the most, so we can concentrate as much of our marketing like activities and resources as possible. But for the most part, next week is going to kind of be like a kickoff week just to get everyone back in the group, reoriented and reactivated. So before I go into that, does anyone have anything to say? Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Um, so the first thing that's going to happen is the probably the best place for me to go would be to go to this Telegram content, because this is kind of like what's going to happen and how it's going to mirror it. So the first thing we're going to do is on Sunday. From now on Sundays, we're going to publish a weekly summary, what's upcoming for the week, what we expect to be upcoming for the week. It'll be super quick. There will be a template here eventually for the mods to write the content. Starting at the beginning, I've already gotten about 3 weeks of content out, so we're essentially pushed out a good amount of time. And we'll just kind of start the week off with that usual weekly announcement that will become a regular announcement. From there, we'll kind of go into on Monday the launch sequence announcement and the C announcement. C is basically just a system that where you can earn points and check your points that are like equivalent to tokens 1-for-1 in the group, in the Telegram group. So we are testing that system over the weekend again, just to make sure everything is working properly. And we plan to deploy that on Sunday after we do the pre-rollout summary. The other 4 things that would end up happening on Monday morning or on Sunday night to kind of prepare for the announcements, which would basically be the introduction announcement and the C announcement, would be basically adding all of the Gov members to a specialized Gov portal. We already have that done. The portal's done. The message is there. We're just waiting for us to be able to forward that around. They will also get DM'd. Everyone will get pinged and added in the groups. And then the mods will essentially be handling orientation messages and the conversations that will, like the chat engagements that will start on Monday. So all of that activity is going to start on Monday. from there, it will essentially be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, announcing the pre-sale, announcing the list of commands that can be used to navigate around, introducing the white paper, reminders of registering for C, more commands, AMAs, and then the countdowns to the launch on Monday. So there's going to be, if you guys want to see this in more detail, it's not completely finished, but it will be at the end of today. You can simply go to the marketing plan checklist and see rollout day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. It will go all the way to about day 14 when I'm done. And that will give us like an exact amount of items that needs to be done, as well as, we can go over here and pull content from the announcement and URL tab if there's going to actually be a announcement that's associated with that. So I just wanted to briefly go over that timeline to kind of give you guys an idea of how that's going to work. And then kind of, I guess, open the day and then start the cadence of regular announcements and moderation to make sure that those teams are ready to go. And then at that point, once I feel like everyone feels that we're comfortable, that things are good, the activity is at a good height, we will start the rollout process, which will essentially just be a much larger version of what I just described. So it will be us rolling out the messages on a very large scale, rolling out the Twitter messages. One of our marketing team members is already in the Twitter. We've already gained about 300 followers from scratch. So we're going to start the messages hopefully with about 1,000. We'll activate the portals, do all of the automated outreach, as I said, start the YouTubes and the AMAs, the call groups and airdrops, and then the final thing is Algo is actually right now finishing up the configuration of our automated shillbot. So we have manual shillers and we have automated shillers, and they will both come online to essentially start the process beginning at the end of next week. And that's kind of really all that I had today, guys. Really in an update portion. The audit is being finished. All of the tools are being finished. We're confirming YouTubers right now in terms of like who we want to pick up when, so we have an exact schedule. Same thing with call groups and AMAs, and we're going to make a good initial kind of campaign there. And then from there, it's really just getting the group going again. And once we feel like we're not dealing with a dead group, then we will start that much larger rollout process. And the reason for that is because we have a lot of people that we're going to be in contact with, and we just want them to come into like a good environment where people are oriented, and all of the community is going to have a lot of impact in terms of like orienting those people, answering questions when mods are not available. So we want to make sure that that's all like solved and easy to go when we get to that point. And I believe that will be next week on Monday, not this upcoming week, like that we're about to go through in the weekend, but the week after that is on that Monday is when I expect the contract to actually go live, everything to launch, us to do our launch day AMA, hopefully with Whalecoin Talk. And then from there, we'll kind of be, building budget and re-switching our focus back to the original contracts, the tokens, and building awareness and the budget that we need to really get things out there. So I've talked for long enough. Let me see what you guys think. If y'all have any critiques, anything like that, so that we can just address all of this while we're all in the room together.
No, I think it's great work, dude. I don't have any really comments on this. I think you mentioned about the Twitter. Are we already have social platforms up and running, or are they going to be created? What's the story on this one?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Actually, we have all of the Twitter is done. Let me just show you guys. The Twitter is done. It is twitter.com/8thwonder DeFi. Right now, we haven't put out any formal tweets, and I'm just going to stick right now with Twitter and Telegram because I feel like those are the two most central channels for DeFi and for crypto. I think we will start an Instagram at some point, but I don't want us to bite off more than we can chew, and kind of like I'd rather us be very consistent on what we decide to roll with. But with that being said, if you want to see all of the Twitter content that aligns with this timeline, it's already basically written out here. I'll be doing a few tweaks, but we also have graphics, GIFs, all of that different stuff already done. So it's there. It's being grown like just through organic engagement, and the bio's there. Everything is there. The only thing that we're waiting for is for 3 days out from launch, all of these different tweets will kind of begin. And this was taken from a project that was very successful in this space. This kind of like approach was taken. So I kind of expect us to get that rolled out on next Saturday. And then from there, we'll probably have about 1 tweet a day going just consistently with the same updates in Telegram. And the content team, marketing team, those will be like, that will be the main focus of their meeting, will be making sure that we're having consistent AMAs, YouTubers, and places to essentially promote the project. And then number 2 will be making sure that the content is done and scheduled. So all of the content will most likely end up being scheduled like a week before. So it's just going out automatically. So that's the social media situation right now.
Okay, cool. And are you planning to get Discord up and running as well?
That's a good question too. Discord, I think, is a little bit more labor intensive again. I would love to have a Discord. At this moment, I don't think that it's something that we're going to do. And the reason why being for that is because most of the holders of Guff ended up being on Telegram. And I just didn't see that being a good way to migrate all of them over on Discord. The other thing is this particular marketing that we're trying to do, like with the direct outreach, even though it's about 1% conversion, 1 to 12% conversion, it's a lot easier to do on Telegram, right? It's cheaper, it's a lot more stable. And so I felt like, let's build a solid base on Telegram, and then we can open up the Discord when we have a little bit more traction and direction into like what the Discord will do differently than the Telegram. Because we're going to have bots, we're going to have like all of the channels will have to be maintained. So I want to make sure that we can do that nicely before we kind of get started on that.
I agree with you. I was just asking the Discord because generally people like to see Discord. I actually myself hate the Discord, so I don't use it. But Telegram is much better.
Yeah, for me, Telegram is like, it's way simpler. It's easier to work. Discord is just like a giant headache. And I'd rather someone who's experienced kind of take that headache on for us rather than us being really stressed about that. So that's the one thing there. The good news is like Telegram, Discord, Twitter, all of that can be measured by C. So the first thing that we're going to have hooked up to like the protocol is going to be the Telegram messages and the Twitter messages. So that will basically include AMAs, right? The length that you stay in AMAs, reaction messages, the amount of messages that you're sending, likes, retweets on Twitter, follows on Twitter. All of that different activity will actually be measured and start giving people points and tokens in real time. So I think sticking there and kind of building a good foundation from there, if we can make sure that that's spreading out and that people are using their invites and that the instructions and commands are clear, then we can kind of start onboarding a lot bigger communities quicker using that that approach. So yeah. Any more questions, guys?
Not from me. I think you answered all of them at the moment. Just looking forward to step in a little bit more and more, and exciting to see that social media starts going up next week as well. So it's very exciting time.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited too. again, I couldn't be more grateful for all you guys. It's been amazing having you guys on the team. Couldn't have done this without you guys in the slightest bit. So thank you guys for your support and your patience. I know it's been a lot of time, and you guys have just been amazing. I couldn't ask for a better team, and I'm super excited to see how everything goes. Hopefully everything is nicely rolled out and there's no issues in the audit report, which I don't think there will be. We've had like 2 already and they've been pretty clean. So, we'll just keep building this up. I will have a more formalized launch plan, which is like a step-by-step for everyone, and be specifically breaking it down for each department so everybody knows where they're supposed to be. And then, we'll use next week kind of as just an introductory buffer to kind of see what happens, right? Like, make sure that everything is going to run 24/7 on the ads, make sure that everyone can kind of get in, make sure the mod team and everyone is good to go. And then once we feel comfortable there, we're just going to start going to as many YouTubers as possible and pulling in as many of those content creators as possible to push things forward and push our first goal, which our first goal would be just to get 500,000 TVL. I think it's possible. And then the second goal would be to get 1 million TVL, because that would basically give us the budget that we need to do whatever we want to do with development, and then with just building up for the project. And then, of course, keeping everybody good and giving everybody a piece of the profits because they're a part of the team. So that's the first set of goals there. Specifically, I know Mr. Crypto UI and Ian are finding a time to nail down and meet. That I'm also glad that we're kind of on that same timeline as this, because once we get that meeting going, I know we're gonna kind of knock out the budget fast, and we're gonna kind of have some budget requirements that we need. So the goal is to hopefully in the next 2 weeks be able to hit those 2 revenue goals and those 2 target goals on the project, and reward everyone in the community for doing so, and then use those resulting funds to kind of begin this next part of the process. And I've already spoken to more developers and just more people who can help us develop an awesome ecosystem. There's a lot of cool stuff happening with like lending and things that which is our original goal. So I wanted to make sure that we have a clear plan, and that any updates to like tokenomics or projects that are improving on the space are being watched and analyzed and broken down so we understand how they work. And if there's anything that we are not doing, we can roll that out just to be ahead of the competition. So that's all I had to. I know I'm a bit long-winded, guys, but so I apologize. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will upload this recording for everyone. And then if you guys have any more questions, feel free to just hit me with them as y'all jump off, or send me a ping online. I'm here all day, refining Telegram messages and kind of doing some work at home. So keep me posted, and y'all have a wonderful day, man. Thank you all so much for taking the time out, and everybody for showing up, because I think there was about 10 people in here at some point. So that was great.
Good. I think exciting to hear about the goals. What is your indication of reaching the first 500 TVL and then reaching to 1 million? What's the indications on the timescales?
So I think that we could do the 500 in about 2 to 4 weeks. I've seen other projects that are similar that have done it in about that amount of time. The one concern that I have is like, what is our YouTube reach going to look like, and then how many AMAs are we going to be able to secure in terms of inside of these YouTuber groups? Because I still have a lot of people who are kind of on the fence. And then a lot of that also has to do with, can we get a few of these people that I know personally to kind of come in and be ambassadors and make how-to videos, which is part of the reason why a lot of the bigger projects have blown up. But my optimistic goal would be 2 weeks for 500K, more realistically 4 weeks for 500K. But once we hit 500K, we will have the budget that we need to essentially like finish development, put at least 25,000 into marketing, and then essentially like keep some things on hand for operational costs, and do everything officially. So anything past that, I think we're going to be just kind of having extra, and this will be a source of income for the project. So that's kind of like where I see that happening. And of course, having cross chain, like, an Avalanche version or a Phantom version, a Crow version, those are all in conversations. The dev team could do those extremely quickly, but it really just comes down to, making sure that we can keep the community engaged. The other portion of the final portion of that would be to take what we're doing with like C and invites and all of like the incentivization of inviting people and just say like, hey, when we reach 250K, we're going to give away X amount, to the top 100 point holders on C or something like that. Because I think that that's probably going to be our ace in the hole, and one of the ways that we can reach it a little bit faster than the competition is just by giving a portion of the profits back to the community, and doing that in a way where we know that they're essentially crowdsourcing the marketing, inviting people, and all of those things can be looked at individually. I could pick out someone who has the most points for invites, someone who has the most points for AMA attendance, someone who has the most points for all of the different criteria. And so I think that will be a way that we can keep that happening a little bit faster.
It sounds very interesting. There is some plans already in place, yes. Now we just need to start nailing and planning a little bit more on the finance and everything else. But yes, happy.
Same here. Yeah, we definitely need those plans on finance. The ideal situation will be that, we end up getting that finance going at the same time that we've built up that finance. So fingers crossed, and we'll keep working hard and figuring that out. And then when that's successful, we will move to the next portion and be ready to really hit the ground running with the token project, which I think is going to be the real make or break to figure out what's going on.
Perfect, dude. Perfect.
All right, guys. Again, thank y'all so much for all the hard work, for taking the time out of y'all's days, and just for coming in, asking the hard questions, and continuing to show up to the meetings, guys, because I know it's been like a lot of back and forth, and we've all been busy, slow going. So, it's been awesome. And if you guys have anything else, just let me know. I'm here until everyone jumps out, and then I'm also online, so you guys should shoot me a question.
Okay, dude. That's I think that's everything for me as well at this moment. Looking forward when we can get together and have this meeting with us. But apart from that, yes, looking forward to the next one.
Me too, man. Oh, real quick before I let you go, would you mind just clearing up for me if you, that day that you were, like, I guess what time it was better for you to meet? Was it your evening time or was it our evening time? Because I feel like me and Ian keep getting confused there, and I just want to have that nailed down 100% so I can figure out a time good for him and we can just give it to you.
It's going to be my evening time, I think, and your morning time, because it is nearly 4 p.m. at the moment for me. And what's the time at your side?
So it's almost 10 a.m. for me.
So it's going to be, yes, I think this is the best setup. You mornings and I am evenings.
Yep. Okay. That's perfect for me. I will let Ian know that, and then we will find a good time in the mornings for us to sit down, and then I'll try to hit you with like 3 or 4 times, so you can just be like, this time doesn't work, but these 3 times work, and we'll just make it easy on you.
Perfect. Much appreciated.
Thank you, man. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you for just putting the time aside.
Anytime. As soon as we have a little bit more clarity on the work you still need apart from the financial planning, the time will be there for you guys as well. So anytime.
For sure. I think we can have that scoped out in the next week. The only thing that I'm not like, all of the marketing is scoped out. I think we're good there. The only thing that I'm not 100% sure on right now, but I'm getting a quote for, is how far do we take the token, right? How far into the utility do we take the token? What we have now is great. I think we could do a few tweaks to it. And I just need to know exactly, and it'll really be kind of more of like a conversation with all of you guys. Basically, so I can figure out exactly how much development cost is going to be there on top of like the marketing costs and all of the other costs. So that's my only concern, but I think I have a good handle on it and kind of like a good budget for it anyway. So I'm kind of already starting that process.
Sounds interesting. Sounds great. Yes. Okay. Well, let's get us together so we can have more clarity on these things as well, so we can put the heads together and actually plan it out.
Yep. Definitely agree. I definitely agree. So I'll make that my focus as soon as we kind of get the mod stabilized, and I'll take some extra time to kind of put that in and think about that and figure out what questions that you guys have for me over the next week or two, and then from there, we can all kind of just move accordingly.
Perfect, dude. I think that's everything from me as well. Then.
Sweet. Anybody else? Algo, Nick, Rajan, anybody?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you one question though. Now, since you are like planning to hold on to Discord for now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So put our all focus on Telegram. So I was actually working on both. Should I like hold on to Discord for now?
That's a good question. I think that it would be nice to have Discord done, but if it's going to take you extra time, that's always something that we can work on after we've had like successful runs of the Telegram, right?
Yeah, actually, I think it would be a good idea to run one for like test, and then we can improve on other as well. So
Yep.
it would be good to test with one at first. That's what I think would be a good idea.
Yeah, man.
Actually, I can do both. I will configure both of them for now, but we will be testing on Telegram first. So for the scheduling part, I will only do the Telegram for now, right?
That's fine with me. I think that let's do like the Telegram DMs and the Telegram adding as priority. And then, as we pull up Discords and have other things going where we need Discord, those tools will get more advanced. But our main focus is going to be Telegram right now. So I think that you're spot on there.
Yeah, actually, it's almost done. Yeah, it should be done by next week. No problem there, bro.
Good deal, bro. We have a very small test next week, so I expect us to kind of still be testing and refining all of that, making sure, when it's operating, there's probably going to be an issue or two. And that's okay, because it's really only 1,000, 2,000 people that we're going to be reaching out to in the next week. And we have 2 different systems that does it. So, the goal next week is to get everyone oriented, but also to test these tools and make sure that they've been tested in a production environment at some sort of scale before we start trying to essentially roll out the product, and then we try to start a campaign, and it just does not go well, right? So that's really what this is for, is to get the mods where they have some experience and they know how to answer questions and they know what's going on, and then to get the Telegram tools working, tested, and making sure that if there's any issues that we have identified or seen, that we can kind of work on those next week, in the understanding that we're going to be rolling out a much larger campaign, coming up very soon.
Yeah. Just wanted to make clear on that, So it is pretty clear from my side. I will be like submitting the work when you need it next week. So there will be no problem on my part. Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nirajan.
So,
What's up, Algo?
quick question, sir. Are there two people working on the boots right now, just one people?
You
Or
said
just one person, I mean?
how many people are working on the bot right now?
Yeah.
So Nirajan is working on the Telegram ads and DMs bots. Those bots have been uploaded to the VPS so that they can run 24/7. And he is also going to test the account generation and all of those different things right now. And we will start a very small campaign next week. So that's like what he's working on. I know I have you working on the automated shill bot, right? So like there's a list of shill groups. We have a message. And we're going to essentially like start shilling to those people starting next week, or maybe the week after, as part of the bigger marketing plan, right? So you're working on automated shill bots. He's working on the automated outreach bots, and then we have one more dev, Oleg, who's not in here right now. And what Oleg was working on is he's working on C, so the social engagement engine. When he's basically like hooking up the APIs for Twitter, making sure that we're going to be able to install it in the group, helping me test out all the commands and iron out any of the issues there, and making that to where it's ready to go. So there is 3 bot devs right now. You guys are all working on separate projects, and the goal is to have all of these projects like hosted on servers that the project controls, so that like if anyone wants to use these tools, that they are there for them. And then also so we can provide these services to other projects down the line once we have stability, right? And I mean, the reason why I say down the line once we have stability is our main focus at the beginning is just getting the project out, getting the token out, getting the volume that we need to basically build what we need to build, and then getting a good runway of time and scope built out so that we know exactly what we're building, how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost, and when we plan on rolling those things out. Because if we can get to that point, we've essentially overcome about 90% of the obstacles that most projects just will not overcome, right? And the main focus after that will just be growth, right? And usually that growth is going to come through YouTubers, platform listings, exchange listings, kind of the standard stuff that you see in just the crypto space. But if we can get there, like we're going to be in a good, solid space. And so that's like the primary focus right now.
All right, that makes sense.
Awesome.
Sounds like a plan. Everything looks good, to now. Yeah, excited to see how everything goes. So yeah, that's it from my part, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate you guys for asking these questions and for getting the clarity. Like I said, couldn't do this without you guys. So I really do appreciate all of the hard work and just the due diligence to even ask the questions. And if you guys are there any more questions before I guess I close this out?
Not for me, of course.
Okay. It seems like we may be good. So yeah, I think that's really the plan there. I will have it written out with a lot more detail for you guys. If you want to see more detail or you have some confusion once I kind of shoot that to everyone individually, just let me know. I'm happy to kind of give more clarity for whatever team or whatever individual person needs it. And then, we're almost ready to go, guys. I see Nicholas in the room, so I'm going to say one quick thing to Nicholas, and just from like a moderation standpoint, I'm inboxing everyone a video that was taken this morning during the moderation meeting, just to specifically go over Telegram announcements and how to answer questions. So we are going to continue to move that forward, and I will continue to kind of figure that out for you guys, but be on the lookout for just like internal messages and cheat sheets and stuff like that for the mods specifically, so I can get you guys ready for next week.
All right, last question, sorry.
No, you're good.
I kind of I kind of think we should have something like orientation for moderators, for them to be able to answer questions correctly and all of that, moderating the group for investors, it has to be well done and properly made. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? More like an orientation stuff about the project and all of that. So that there won't be any fuck up or something, any mistake or blunder made in the group.
I definitely agree with you there. It's a bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of trying to figure out what the best way to do that is. So I will tell you what I'm thinking. You can tell me what you guys think about that, and if it needs to be tweaked in any way. The current plan for that is to basically a few things. Number one is to have a cheat sheet. So that cheat sheet will basically be a list of commands and announcements. So just so that people can stay oriented into where they are, into what's happening and what they can expect to happen. Number two is right now, if you go inside of the Eighth Wonder group and do /commands, there is a list of commands that can be basically pulled up that include about the project, FAQ, et cetera, et cetera. This is going to get expanded pretty dramatically to the point of where each individual question will basically be hosted under a command. So, and then third is I'm going to inbox all of this to the mods personally, and then myself and Adam Fass, who is the mod manager, are going to get on a phone call today, tomorrow, and Saturday to make sure that all of these things are understood by him. And then we're individually inboxing each person instructions and also building a schedule so we know when everyone is essentially coming on and getting off, and those are like their times for the day. So that is the plan right now for the mod orientation. The problem is I don't really see everyone being able to answer these questions immediately. And we don't have the time to like step it through for them. So I think that like a good knowledge of the command system, and then kind of following that up with any sort of question feedback or like clarity is going to be the best solution in the short term as we get our mods oriented. What do you guys think about that?
That makes sense for me, dude. That makes sense. Okay. Actually, I'm not having any plans for that. I'm just saying we can just get oriented. Probably 3 days to when we are going to have our first loan to pursue.
Yeah, and I definitely agree there. I think Saturday is when I'm shooting to kind of get those messages out. I've already communicated with all of the mods this week. So Saturday is when I plan on kind of like pulling everyone in, seeing where we are, making the plans to kind of like what time are we going to initialize this, what point are we going to initialize this, and then Sunday I will be making the first round of announcements, and then we're just gonna see how that goes, play it by ear, and run those first campaigns using the adding and the individual outreach and stuff from the Shield team. So like that's kind of what the plan is there. Once we finish that, then I'll have a better idea of like, did that work or did that not work at the end of next week? And hopefully it worked, because once we figure out like, okay, everyone's good, they can answer the questions, they're on schedule, then we can start saying, okay, now let's like really start rolling this DAP out, working with our YouTubers and everything like that, because that's going to take a bigger level of coordination. And I just want to be 100% sure that we're ready for that level of coordination before we begin. But all right, guys, I think we've been on this for almost an hour, and I'm happy to keep answering questions. If you guys have to drop, feel free to. If you have more questions, feel free to run those towards me. I'll be on here for like the next 2-3 minutes. If I don't hear any questions, I'll just close us out, and then we will reconvene on Tuesday, and I will just continue to reach out to everyone individually and give you guys as much information as you need.
All good for me. It was really a pleasure to listen the questions and answers. So extremely happy with the progress and everything else. What have you done already? So nice work, dude.
Thank you, man, and you guys too. Like I said, couldn't have done it without you guys, and I'm excited for this like increased level of coordination and us just getting together and doing even bigger and better things and getting ready to launch the meat and potatoes. So super happy.
Cool, dude. That's everything from me as well. So happy to finish the meeting. So yes, thank you.
All right, Mr. Crypto. Have a great day, guys. It seems like we were out of questions. So everyone have a wonderful day. Feel free to inbox me whenever you guys have a question. It doesn't matter how small it is. Like I said, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. I'm super excited to get started rolling out next week. If you guys have any feedback, just keep me posted with it. And other than that, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys on Tuesday.
Cool. Perfect, dude. Have a nice day, and we'll catch up very soon.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, man. We'll get a good time nailed down for this meeting in the next day or two.
Perfect.
Sweet. All right, guys, stopping the recording. I'm going to jump off here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Always great to see y'all, guys.